are listening to the Chompcast, the official podcast of Sword Chomp. And remember, you can always go to swordchomp.com where you can access the many places our podcast is available for download. We have a godlike show this week as we are breaking down the new God of War, the critically acclaimed masterwork from Santa Monica Studios, and it is getting the rare 5-person Chompcast debate. That rarely happens, so this is going to be a lot of fun. The topic of the show has us deep diving into the fading portions of our memory pools to recant our earliest gaming memories with help from the Instagram community at Sword Chomp. The BioBreak article this week involves a species that was rediscovered some 30 years later after basically being thought to be extinct. We have major poll results from the Sword Chomp Instagram, including God of War hype, secret fiery cheesy gordita crunches, in honor of our special guest I'll introduce here in a second, Far Cry 5 fishing tournament with me and Fish, and the Patreon officially launching, which is pretty exciting for this podcast by the time it drops. In fact, you can actually pause this show right now and head over to www.patreon.com/swordchomp. And we also have a link to the Patreon in the Sword Chomp Instagram bio. So it is going to be an amazing show that we have here today. Let's get to some intros and a very special guest that we have with us. Our good friend, the Maestro, Rich Meister from Destructoid, who almost abandoned us for some new superhero movie nonsense. What is it, Marvel to Infinity and Beyond or something?
It's 358 over 2 Avengers.
Okay.
Latest chapter in Kingdom Hearts.
Gotcha. That's the real
1.2.
yeah, that's Final Remix HD.
Yeah, they charge you an extra $3 for the 3D glasses and an extra $5 for the pamphlet to tell you what's happening.
Exclusively on the Sega Nomad. Doesn't even work on a Genesis.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the crossover. The crossover that leads to the other crossover. We're just going to cross everything over, and it's just me a big clusterfuck. So I was looking at the poster for that today, Rich, and I couldn't even. There were so many characters in the. You can't even make out who the fuck is on that movie poster, man.
It's not Hawkeye. Jeremy Renner's not there. It's become a troubling thing. I won't talk your ear off about that though.
They already got Black Panther in there, man. I just saw Black Panther like a month ago. It's crazy.
Fantastic film.
Well, I'm glad you could. We bumped the podcast up early because we didn't want to miss having you here. So
yeah, I appreciate you guys doing that.
For me, God of War. I mean, I know you got a lot of strong thoughts on God of War. So,
oh man, yeah, I do.
Not to mention, I did the poll just for you, the Taco Bell poll, because you inspired the. Well, the last time you were on the show, you told us about the secret Taco Bell trick that we'll talk about later. And Rich, did you know this? This is a nice segue for us. Did you know that Fish hates beards? Were you aware of that?
I was not aware of that.
That he's actually afraid of beards. It's a real thing.
I didn't. He's got like parts of a beard too. So it's just when it all comes together.
Yeah. It's full beards that I'm just so jealous and terrified about.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's really just the side, like the cheek issue. You can't make that out. I'm stroking my face like that's going to translate on this audio podcast.
That's true. Well,
I can't see that jawline, and I don't know what the hell's going on down there then.
It's
a scary place.
He doesn't want to imagine. You know, it's funny. By the way, that's Fish, of course, the Filipino Johnny Depp. Here from Texas. I actually learned this week, guys, this is true. It's pretty crazy. Fish, behind the scenes, was actually trying to partner up with Gillette to create his own brand of razor blade for men, inspired by the Blades of Chaos from God of War. It was called the Razor Blades of Chaos in his attempt to rid the world of beards. And
is that just 2 Gillette razors on a chain?
I like the imagery of that. That's gonna be one of my Instagram posts, I think. I'm gonna have Fish. Explain yourself, Fish. Why are you doing this, man?
Just to exterminate all the beards in the world. I mean,
okay. Simple answer.
Blades of Chaos, wielded by Kratos, and just a man filled with so much hatred and vengeance that he. Much like that. Yeah, much like that. I just want to go out and shave the faces of all men who have full beards.
You lucked out, Fish, because I actually I went to the barber today and I got a shave. So it would have been pretty terrifying had I shown up.
Without that. Yeah, it looks sexy on you, man. I like what your barber did to you.
It's a nice fade happening.
Yeah. Well, it's whatever, Fish. It is what it is. Maybe that'll be the poll run next week. Did you know that Fish is afraid of beards? People will learn. But I like the idea. I don't agree with chopping off beards, Fish, but I like the visual of a blade of chaos razor. That sounds cool, in its own weird way. So
yeah, those things should fly off the shelves, I think.
Yeah, just go into the rage of the gods every time you see. Inside his head, he goes into the rage of the gods every time he sees a beard. Anyway, Fish, glad you're here. Didn't want to do God of War without you. Up next, of course, Shay is here, the professor from Japan. Which makes me wonder, Shay, what's the beard scene like in Japan? I mean, it's a whole nother culture.
It's not something I really thought about, but definitely more people. It's the city, so a lot of people are pretty clean shaven. So I don't know if I have like a true indicator since I live in a city, but
okay.
I'm definitely envious of a lot of the Japanese people's hair because they have like so many different hairstyles. And it's all awesome, and they all have full head. Well, not all of them. A lot of them had beautiful, luscious locks, and I don't. Not anymore. I used to, but not anymore. So
Japanese people Japanese people have great hair. That's what you're telling us. Well, that makes sense.
A lot of them do. Not all of them. They're
Salarymen,
definitely
great hair.
Salarymen?
Yeah.
No. It's because they've drank so much strong zero, which is something none of you guys know about. It's just like imagine like a it's basically like Chuhai. So imagine not quite Smirnoff Ice, not quite Four Loko either, like somewhere in between there. And that Salarymen love to drink those on the train rides home. So
I go to an HNY to buy like Japanese Coca-Cola products. Do you think I could track that down?
Strong Zero? Probably not. Yeah. But they do. So Strong Zero has a new like Coca-Cola and alcohol product. Weirdly enough, they just rolled out a few weeks ago.
Cutting out the middleman. I like it.
Yeah, they said, you know what? Fuck you, Coca-Cola. We'll make our own and put alcohol in it. And make everyone cry because it's so bad.
It was like when Taco Bell started serving liquor. Like, we know what you're doing. Let's just do it all in one place.
That happened? Taco Bell's? Did Taco Bell's really start serving liquor? Are you fucking
certain Taco Bells, yeah.
What?
Yeah. I wonder whatever happened with that.
There's a Taco Bell in Manhattan that serves liquor.
Wow, that's interesting. Huh. The more you learn. Learned a lot today.
Yeah. Their new slogan is actually, "You're eating Taco Bell. You'll need this."
You'll need.
You get nachos. It comes with a little thing of cheese and a little thing of like, your choice. You get some whiskey. It comes with a shot.
Taco Bell. Now you have a reason for your face to be sloppy.
Yeah.
Well, it's mostly because it was 3 a.m. and the bar's right there.
Well, it's 3 a.m. and you're drunkenly trying to smear a cheesy gordita crunch into the side of your mouth. Why? I don't just go in my mouth.
It's so good.
Just want to eat it. That's your vodka. I just want this cheesy gordita. I just really want it. That's your vodka bottle, Ben. I just really want this. All right, that joke's done.
I feel sad that I've never been that drunk before. I feel like I'm missing out.
It's a good time.
That's sad. Thanks for being here, Shay. Of course.
Should we talk? Should we talk about the Pokemon show?
Well, I was wasted. We did this Pokemon show a long time ago, Rich, and I got so wasted I was like vomiting in the middle of the podcast. But I still could have put a cheesy gordita crunch in my mouth. I tell you, I know that because I went to McDonald's and ate a bunch of McDonald's and then vomited it for the next 7 hours of my life. That
was the saddest story that not only involved Taco Bell but McDonald's and vomiting mid-podcast.
The tasting notes you gave us the next day were actually fairly impressive. Almost no change. The 7 hours, made.
They were quite comprehensive.
I was picking up those different. My palate was just, it was really on fire. after that show. No, and the scary thing about that, Rich, the funny thing was it was because it was a red wine. I was drunk and I started vomiting. And I thought there was something seriously wrong with me because all the puke was red. And I was like, oh, that's right. I had a red wine, but I was drunk and panicked. I was like, oh my God.
A drunk person is never going to piece that together. You're just going to assume you're dying. Yeah.
Let's just say the story is a lot more disgusting than that, but I will not be mentioning everything else that happened. But thanks for being here, Shay. And we are excited to talk God of War with you as well, among other things. Of course, last but surely not least, Joshua Fowler's here from Michigan. And Josh, I got to say, I'm thankful that we are finally launching a Patreon because, it's been pretty rough for Josh, Josh has, between editing the show all day Saturday and playing Sea of Thieves with us all day Sunday, his kids don't even recognize him anymore. So I'm sorry about that, Josh. Like, who's this strange man? Who's mommy's new boyfriend? Who is this strange man in our house?
Mm-hmm. I mean, the beard doesn't help.
Not at all. Not at all. That's like your whole weekend, man. Like, I don't know. God, I don't know how we function. That's the devotion right there. The Sea of Thieves thing, as that's just an addiction. But the editing combined with that is a whole nother level. So, true story, Rich. By the way, I'm Morgan here from Montana. Blue skies of Montana. This is a nice segue because we're not going to talk about Sea of Thieves today because we've already talked about it plenty with the past couple shows. But this week, I don't know if you saw the video on the Instagram, Rich. Fish, for his first time, he was piloting a ship. Did a great job, steered us right into the enemy ship. Me and Josh jumped out to take it over. It was like the badass heist moment. Me and Josh grabbed some treasure. We turn around, and suddenly, Fish is in the water, and the boat is going off by itself because Fish got too excited. And he forgot that,
sometimes that happens.
It does, To Fish's credit, there's not many other games where you're like, oh, I need to stop and anchor my ship before continuing. That's kind of
that's true.
A unique thing. So,
but that game has like so many mundane things in it, like raising the sails, lowering the sails, steering. Like you get caught up in that stuff, and then all of a sudden when you get action, it's like, oh, we're taking on cannon fire, and we're trying to take some treasure from these pirates out here. Like I just got too in the moment, and I had FOMO going on. I wanted to join in and swashbuckle with my fellow pirates.
You could have. You very well could have if you would have just brought that. Fish has a bad case of FOMO. He's always fear of missing.
But see, he was thinking ahead. He thought it would be faster if you swam back to the ship than having to raise anchor again. I mean, these guys are going to respawn. They're going to be hot on your heels.
Well, the funny twist of that story was he had left the boat in a hard left steer, so it made a full circle back toward the island.
And came back around to pick you up.
It did,
just like you planned.
Almost perfectly. And that would have been the perfect ending. That would have been the perfect ending to that story. That's not what happened. We all got eaten by sharks and screamed at fish, but almost.
I like my version better.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. It would have been much more badass if that happened, but I mean, I was laughing for a good, a solid 10 minutes whenever as soon as Josh was like, God damn it, Fish. I was just like, oh, this is it. I'm going to hear this for the rest of my life now.
It was so perfect. I'm glad we recorded it. That's the beautiful thing about recording stuff nowadays, is we can just record everything. So it was a good story. Honestly, Fish, I would cherish that story more than if we had just done a badass thing, because it was way more entertaining. So yeah, so looking forward to doing more of that. But let's get right to it. Topic of the show is, we're getting really nostalgic here. And Rich, I mean, I'm curious because I asked you, what kind of topic you want to talk about this week, and you said, hey, I want to get really nostalgic this time. I want to talk about our earliest gaming memory. So, like, what inspired that topic for you?
Well, I knew it was going to be on the show. I was thinking about stuff I've been working on lately, and this isn't a piece I'm done with yet. This might be out but this might be out by the time the show's up. But I've been like mulling around with like gaming memories. Like I did a piece on like